Here is a quick test. I'm not going to say anything for the next couple of moments. Look at my expression or the sentiments. Expression number 1. Expression number 2. Expression number 3. I'm not good at acting, but you must have got some idea about what the feelings or the emotion I'm trying to convey. The first one, somewhat positive. Second one, very sad. Third one, very neutral. Yes, we, the human being, will be able to understand the sentiments, the feelings, and the expression, and correspondingly will be able to get sense about what is the meaning behind the text. Therefore, sentiment analysis comes quite natural to us. But how the computer could be able to understand? And that is what we discuss in today's episode of Truly AI, where we try to understand the AI in a very simple, straightforward, easy to understand and relatable format. I am Dr. C.B. Abraham. Welcome each one of you to this episode of Truly AI. We have the feedback of a business application by the customers, and also we have 3 bowls. We call it as positive, negative, and neutral. We want to see how the computer could be able to segregate this feedback into sentiments analysis. Suppose we take this experience wonderful, this is positive, go to this bucket, and the service excellent goes to again, response frustrating, it is negative, will join now, it is neutral, and up very useful, positive. In this way we could be able to segregate all these responses into either positive, negative or neutral. This way we could be able to have the segregation of all the responses into positive bucket, negative bucket or neutral bucket. We can call it as sentiment buckets. Therefore, effectively AI does the conversion of the text into one of the sentiment buckets of positive, negative and neutral. Converting the text into one of the labels positive, negative or neutral is the first step. AI takes it forward in order to give a numeric representation for each of the text. For that, it uses basically different metrics. We look at 3 most important metrics called polarity, confidence and finally subjectivity. Let us start with polarity. Polarity gives a value between -1 and +1 if the statement is very positive, and it will be giving a value very much close to +1, and if the statement is very much negative, it will be able to give a value close to -1, and value 0 means it is neutral. It was superb. That is a statement. It is a very positive statement. Therefore, it will be able to get a numeric value very much close to 1, suppose 0.95. Then suppose the statement is the movie was very bad. Movie was very bad. Then it is a negative statement and it could be able to get a value somewhat negative, very much close to -1, minus 0.25, something like that. Then the next numeric measure is called the confidence. Confidence is a measure which has the value lies in between 0 and 1. It gives the idea that how much confidence or how much sure the model is about that allocation. if the model is so good about or so confident about that allocation, it could be able to have a value close to 1. And if the model is not very sure, and correspondingly the respective metric will be close to 0. For example, the statement something like, he was so sure and confident. This is a positive statement. The model also says that much of confidence, and it could be able to provide a value close to 1, suppose 0.8. Then suppose the statement is something like, he seems to be okay. The model is not very sure about it, that allocation, and respectively the confidence value can be somewhat 0.15, very much close to 0. Now we have the third metric, which is nothing but the subjectivity. Subjectivity again provides a value between 0 and 1. It gives an idea about how much factual the information is or how much opinionated the statement is. If the text is more of factual, and correspondingly the respective subjectivity value will be close to 0, and if more opinionated, then correspondingly the respective text will be having value close to 1. Then suppose we have the statement, the movie was superb. It is again an opinion, therefore it will be able to have a value very much close to 1, 0.95. And suppose we have a statement, I shall come around 5 p.m. This is very much a factual information, and correspondingly it could be able to give a value close to say 0. Using this polarity, confidence and subjectivity, the AA could be able to give a numeric value corresponding to each of the text. Suppose you went to the restaurant yesterday and gave this comment, the food was good but the service was awful. How AA could be able to process this, and that is what we try to do now. The first step, AA does what is called the tokenization. If you want to know more about the tokenization, please refer the video inside ChatGPT. Using this tokenization, it could be able to split the words into different words. The food was good but the service was awful. We split the full sentence into different words, and correspondingly we will be able to get a collection of words as the outcome of tokenization. Suppose these are the words we got, and out of this some of the words may not be of much value to us, like the, we remove that. Was, we remove that. Then remaining words are there. Then we try to give the respective score, polarity score, confidence, etc. to this. Suppose we try to give some value to this. Computer does give some value. Food, it is somewhat neutral. We will be giving say 0.1. The good, it is very positive value. Therefore we give value to be suppose 0.8, 0.8. Awful, it is a very negative value. We give very negative value, minus 0.9. Service, it is somewhat neutral value. We give the value to be say 0.12. Then most important aspect is that the service was good, but the but changes the whole context, and correspondingly AA could be able to give much more emphasis to that, and but will be changing the meaning, and whatever the words coming after will be giving more preferential treatment, and the context is changed. In modern large language models, transformer could be able to capture this type of word which could be able to give more focus, more attention, and correspondingly it could be able to give more weightage. Then corresponding to this, at the end the machine could be able to give a weighted sum of all these values, and correspondingly it could be able to give a better value, single numeric value. We start with corpus. Click on the widget corpus, double click on corpus. It provides a number of documentation, and here we have data sets, many different data sets. Suppose we select any one of them. Suppose we select book excerpts, and correspondingly we could be able to get this. Now we look at the corpus viewer widget in order to see what is there in that corpus, and we go through this. There are 140 different documents. We have category and the text for corresponding to each of the document. The document 2, children, some other text. Therefore, effectively we have different text, summary, and whom it is meant for. And if you go down, we have children. In addition to children, we have adult. Therefore, basically we have two different categories, children and adult, and a number of such text documents are provided. Therefore, this is the text we have. Now we look at the pre-process. Suppose we do the pre-process text widget, and we connect corpus to pre-process text. Therefore, we could be able to have this window. You may select the standard which is available. We don't change anything. You could be able to see all these pre-processing. We could see tokenization, transformation, whatever the pre-processing we want to do, we could be able to do that. Suppose we don't do anything, the default one. Now we have the sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis widget is selected. We connect pre-processed text to sentiment analysis, and we double click on it, and we could be able to see different methods like who, whether, multilingual sentiment, etc. And whether is one of the most popularly used, and by default it is selected. Therefore, we use that. Now we try to have the column, select column, we connect sentiment to select column, and these are the positive, negative, neutral are the sentiments we have selected. We use that. Then we could be able to go back, and correspondingly now we use the heat map. And once we connect this select columns to heat map, we will be able to get such a beautiful heat map. And suppose we click on this adult and children, and on top neutral, positive, negative. Suppose we select this cluster, you could be able to see this particular cluster part is selected. Then we go back to our main screen. Now we try to see the data. Try to see the data table, and correspondingly we connect this heat map to data table, and you could be able to see this. The category we had selected was adult. The full content of the text is provided, and the rest will be able to see that predominantly the documents are neutral because it's the standard document and there are no positive or negative aspect. It will be much more neutral. This is the content of that selection, and we could be able to have the corpus viewer we can have it, and this is the corpus viewer of the selected one, and here we have the different documents which are part of it. Each of the documents we have seen is selected, and also we could be able to have the word cloud. The word cloud, that means the representation of all the words in that. This is the beautiful representation of important words in the cluster selected. Therefore, this is an idea about what are the different documents corresponding to that selection and which are the most important words appearing in that selected text. This is the simple demonstration of sentiment analysis using WADR tool. I came to the railway station. Train is only 3 hours late. Amazing service. Have you heard the word? Train is only 3 hours late. Amazing service. If AI captures this, and most probably it will be taking it as a positive sentiment because amazing service is there. But we know it is sarcasm behind that. This is the issue many times we might face when we deal with AI based sentiment analysis. Look at another context. Suppose you have given some responsibility to your subordinate and he did it very badly, suppose, and at the end you are fed up of the work and finally you said, "Arey boss, superb work." And this type of context related or culture related or sarcasm based comments may not be able to be nicely captured by AI, and sentiments provided by AI may not be correct. These are some of the issues we might come across based on the AI supported sentiment analysis. We have seen how AI could be able to convert the text into tokens, into numbers, and using different metrics, how we will be able to estimate the sentiment. Yes, AI could be able to estimate the sentiment, but it can never feel the sentiment. And in fact, that faculty is given only to human beings as of now. At the end of this video, what is your sentiment after watching this video? If you like this, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, truly AI.